Don't laugh.
One day, Dave, I will be the one laughing. At you, not at the Raiders, but at everybody else. You guys all set up there?
Yeah.
All right.
Well, Marcel, obviously the bye week seems to come at a good time, especially for the defense. How did that work for you guys, and kind of get some guys healed up too?
Getting some guys healed up, just going back and just going, just going back from scratch actually, and just working some technique stuff, scheme stuff, and just getting some guys kind of dialed in on what we're trying to get done on defense.
With the secondary and the kind of the injuries back there, how has that affected you guys? And you don't want to say there's a silver lining in it, getting a lot of guys in there, but you've had to use so many guys and so many combinations, and maybe you get most of those guys back now, probably maybe this week. How have you guys been forced to adjust, and how has that affected you guys?
Honestly, to be honest with you, there's a game, and we have to play it. So for me, I've never really thought, okay, we have this DB or we don't have this DB. Because I always thought the other team didn't care less about who was hurt or who wasn't hurt. And so I always approached it that who's ever playing, a play.
Dante Dion's been a guy that's obviously battled through injuries. And,
right.
I think he missed the last. Did he play in the second half of Nevada at all? I can't remember.
I don't remember either.
Well,
that's my point. I don't even,
Yeah.
I'm just playing football, and so who's ever out there, to me, if we dial your number, then, right, you got to step up. You know what I mean? If you're on this football team, you're on this football team for a reason. And so who's ever out there, then let's play ball.
I guess on that note, has it allowed certain guys, like maybe a Jonathan Moxie or anybody like that, to really grow, stepping into roles this year?
Yeah. He's grown. He's been the one guy that's been, every game he's played for us. And, he's had some ups and downs. But at that position, you're going to, as a young guy, he's going to be a guy that's going to have some ups and downs. But I think he's made more plays than he did make. It's just good for that kid.
We talked about prior to the Nevada game, they're a team that was real stingy in terms of turnovers. You said if you got 3, you liked your chances.
Right.
You got at least 4, but there are other balls that were even on, even got knocked out on the ground. Just your thoughts on that effort versus Nevada, a team that didn't turn the ball over, getting the production you guys did.
We harp on that. And the key for us is to score number one on defense, but to get our offense the ball as much as possible. That's just that's football one-on-one. The more chances you give your offense to score, they'll score. And so every week, we have a tackling circuit, a turnover circuit, and we just harp on that.
A receiver like Josh Harper, how much attention do you – obviously you got to know where he is every play. What does he do to your defense?
He can do so much. He's a guy that can go vertical. He's fast as well as quick. So he can get the ball in space on something short. He can do it all. And so he's a guy that you better know where he is on the field at all times because he can't hurt you.
Going back on Fresno's offense, what kind of stands out to you when you look across the ball? And I know obviously losing a guy like Carr, they're going to have to adjust.
Right.
And it seems like they had a little bit of growing pains this year.
Right. The one thing about Fresno is that they always have athletes. It seems like year in and year out, they keep good receivers, they keep a good running back, they keep a good quarterback, and their O-line is always big. And I'm trying to figure out where they get these guys from because they just consistently have, those tall receivers, those fast receivers, and so, it'll be a tough game for us, because they're excited to come in here. I'm sure after a loss. That probably means nothing to them at this point. They're going to come in here fired up, and they are going to want to beat our butts here at home. So
Waller is a straight line runner. He had 2 or 3 40-yard runs this last game for them.
Right.
How do you contain him at the line of scrimmage? They have a veteran offensive line,
right,
which opens big holes.
Stay in your gaps. That's the main thing. And even going back to our last game, you just have to have guys do their jobs. If you have a certain gap, right, you got to stay in your gap. Tackling is important too. We've gone back to the drawing board on that, because we missed I thought our last game we missed a lot of tackles, a lot of key tackles, and so how they do it is they spread you out. So now you have guys that's going to be in open field, and there's going to be a lot of one-on-one tackling. And so you need to be good in space against these guys because they spread you out a little bit.
What were some of your favorite moments from this rivalry, the Boise State-Fresno State rivalry, for your time here in the past?
It was always at Fresno because their crowd is so hostile, and you're walking to the stadium, you're kind of outside, and they're screaming at you and, you know, cursing at you, and, you know, it's just, I don't know, it's just that atmosphere there. I always liked that atmosphere whenever they were hostile against us, and we won the game. But, you know, for me, they're year in and year out, they're a very athletic football team, you know, and going back to Hat Hill days, you know, they want to run the ball and then off of that take shots. And so, you know, that's the one thing about them. You get to see where you're at as a, you know, a team as well.
When you mentioned, you know, kind of those injuries, you know, you've had to put in so many guys to start and stuff like that. And I don't want to say that's been a blessing in disguise, but you have had to use a lot of guys and
Right.
maybe use that depth and, you know, test it. How has that worked out for you so far, and being able to get so many guys in there?
It's worked out good. You know, now I just hope to get them all back at one point, so we have a little bit more depth, so we can get them back, you know, at one time. I don't know if we've started the same group one game this year. You know, I don't know if we have. So, you know, if we can get all those guys back at any point this year, I'll be happy because now we have some depth. We have so many guys that's, you know, that's played. But, you know, the whole deal is certain guys have to step up, carry the flag. Guys didn't come here to sit on the bench. You know, they came here to play. And so, you know, when they go through a week of meetings and practice and stuff like that, hopefully they feel good about what they're doing, you know, at the end of the week.
What has Kamala brought to the table for you guys? It just seems like that guy just keeps getting better and better,
Right.
and just seems to be obviously a force out there.
Right.
What's impressed you about what he's done this
I
year?
think number one, he enjoys the game. You know, he always has a smile on his face. He practices hard. The way he plays is the way he is every day. You know, and he plays hard. You know, even when he does something wrong, he's still trying to learn. You know, he'll be the one to ask you, okay, how do I play this? How do I play that? So, you know, he's playing with a whole lot of passion right now. You know, and to me, every week he's just you know, getting better and better each week.
How reliable is he? I mean, considering he's only a sophomore, is he becoming kind of a, you know, potential staple of the defense?
I hope so. You know, and so you know, he's a guy that makes plays for us. You know, because he's a guy that can have his hand down or stand up. He does a lot for us. You know, and that's the same position that we had in the past where those guys are special for us. And, you know, we go from a 4 down to 3 down without him heading off the field. So that's a big deal for our scheme.
What does Darian Thompson do to put himself in position so consistently to come away with interceptions?
Student of the game, same thing. Practices hard. So what you see on the field is what you see off the field. You know, it's no secret. Your hardest workers, your guys that study the game, are usually your better players. And if those guys struggle, they still work hard and they still study the game. And sooner or later, they're going to figure it out. You know, and so he's a guy that's always in the film room on his own. You know, he's always asking questions. And the way he is on the field is the way he is every day. So